welcome to the morning news desk, global web producer Nick Logan. Nick, good morning. How you doing?
Not too bad, Paul. How's it going?
I am doing well. We've been talking all morning in our news, of course, with Brett Ruskin as well about this new report that says that cyberbullies are now moving away from Facebook and Twitter, some of the very popular forms of social media, and moving into other avenues of social media. So what is the new world of social media for us here?
I'm going to say there's not a new world. This has all been around for a while now, and if you look at that report and some of the social networks that were named, some of them actually are older than Facebook.
Sure.
One mentioned 4chan. That came out about 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
If you look at some of the other ones, not quite as old, but Tumblr, that's 2007. Ask FM, which has recently got pointed out as being linked to some bullying activity. That was 2010. Skype, 2003. Dating myself from when I used to use it, IRC was back in 1998.
Yes.
I was online before that even.
ICQ was a big one for me.
Yeah, I could never figure out ICQ actually.
We would never bully or get bullied back in those days though, of like ICQ and stuff. I'm not sure where it turned, but.
Well, if you think about it though, I mean,
I got dumped on ICQ.
well, bullying online, yeah, it's that we know about that it exists now. It is happening a lot more often. I won't deny that. But if you look back to when people our age were in school, when people our age are in school, when our parents were in school, bullying happened in the school hallways. Harassment happened in loose leaf notes that get thrown out eventually. And now this stuff kind of hangs around a bit more. And as we were talking in that last segment that Brett had. You know, they are branching out. So parents are kind of catching up, like, you know, looking at Facebook and Twitter and whatnot. It's going to be next to impossible to monitor every single social media site.
Right.
If you look at some news story pages, for example, there's like a little share button at the top. Mm-hmm. If you click that, there's like something like 330 different social networks you can share on. Yeah. So, you know, good luck trying to monitor all of that. Mm-hmm. But my big thing is that when you hear one of these reports, you hear a social network and maybe you haven't heard of it before, even if it's been around for a while. And immediately there's this alarm that goes off that this social network is bad. This is what this social network is used for. And that's definitely not the case. And you don't want your kids to feel that way either. You want them to be engaged in social media because, you know, their friends are, it's talked about in schools, it's talked about on TV. Yep. It's a part of their lives.
Big part of culture right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, so, I mean, we did talk about in that last second about, you know, looking at your children's browsing history, which, again, you don't want to totally make your children feel like they don't have any privacy. But if you are concerned, it does take a quick check. And if you see a site that you don't recognize, then maybe you got to do some investigation.
Right.
Like I said, a lot of these things weren't developed for this purpose.
So let's just say you're going to investigate, though.
Yeah.
You can't really investigate Facebook because you'd have to have them as your friend, right? But what about Tumblr? I know that's a blog site.
Yeah, and that's
kind of access that.
Oh, it's easy. You do have to have an account,
yeah.
But really, I mean, you have to know what you're looking for. Tumblr is massive, and it's a microblogging site, social media site. So they're sharing. It could be anything from pictures to comments to news stories, whatever. But it's a huge site.
What about apps on your phone? I know Snapchat is actually getting pretty popular in the last little while.
Yeah.
It's like instant messages that go away, so you can't find them after, right?
It's mostly pictures and whatnot. And in all honesty, maybe this is a bit editorial in my own personal opinion. Yeah. I can't think of anything that Snapchat would be used for other than sending pictures you don't want people to hang on to or your parents to see. So if you're concerned about your children sharing or giving or receiving photos that are questionable or that could be used for harassment purposes, just don't let them put the app on the phone.
Right.
It wasn't developed for that, but that's kind of what it's known for.
Okay. So if you're a parent out there this morning and you have kids that are on social media, they do the Facebook and the Twitter, is there an age range where they should be getting on this stuff? Is there a limit where they should be, you know, what should they be doing there?
I think, you know, once you figure it into teen years, I mean, and I hate to use the peer pressure card, but there is that, you know, a lot of parents eventually will give in and say, you know, all their friends are on it. I have a lot of friends who are friends with their children on Facebook or have access. It's like, you can be on this if you use it on the family computer.
Right.
I have your password so I can check in on things. At a certain age group, you know, from like the 12 to 15, you know, it's probably a good idea.
Right.
Once they get a bit older, that's, you know, when kids start getting into like dating or having boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, you do want to give them a little bit of privacy, but, you know, you still need to be connected to them. And the time for the ignorance is bliss, I don't understand all this social media, I can't keep up, it's kind of over.
Right.
We kind of have to do it. If you want to put an end to bullying, which I don't think is entirely possible, if you want to limit it, then you're going to want to be involved in it.
Gain more knowledge on some of the stuff that your kids are doing, that's for sure.
And on that note, I'll definitely say that we talk a lot about protecting your kids online. Obviously, that is the important message. What we don't talk about a lot is making sure your kid's not the bully. And that's another reason you want to stay on top of things.
Yes.
Like, you got to make sure that it's not just your son or daughter that's being bullied. Make sure they're not the ones sharing this stuff. And it's not just that they're the instigator of it all. If they're sharing that rumor, they're a part of it. It's like, there's a bullying expert named Barbara Coloroso, and she's great. And I think her book should be like given to parents on the first day of school. But
Barbara Coloroso.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so basically, she says there's the bully, and the bystanders. A lot of them are bystanders. Just if you're sharing that and you're not telling your parents, if you're sharing like a rumor, if you're sharing a photo, a video that's going to hurt somebody, they're a part of it if they're sharing it, even just in a private message. So, you want to talk to your kids, and it does take a couple of seconds just to ask, like, what's this site, Ask FM, that I'm hearing about? I see that in your browser.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yep.
And that one in particular is very anonymous. If you don't want your kids being a part of it, don't let them join the anonymous ones.
Okay, well, we got to get out of here, but it's an interesting debate that's going to continue, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Social media only gets more and more popular as we go along here. That's Global Web Producer Nick Logan. We can find out more information on this topic on our website, globalnews.ca.